What are some of the characteristics of a good body sex leader?
It's interesting you asked that. So, I think first and foremost is that I am giving without the need to receive, that I'm here creating this space and holding this space, and there's no ego. And what's interesting is this is the part that makes leading a transformative experience.
Mhm.
If I cannot be thinking about myself and being present and hearing all the other women and holding the space, if I can put down my neurotic loop, if I can put down the need to be liked, the need to be beautiful, the need to say all the right things, I can let other women in the circle minister to the others. That is success because that means I understand, right? I
Mhm.
understand it's not about me. I'm not the guru and I'm not the expert. I am the guide. And it's a very important distinction in body sex.
Yes. I think back to my elementary education days, and we used to say, "A guide on the side, not a sage on the stage." And that just that breaks it right down, that phrase right there.
It's a non authoritarian model. And Betty
Mhm.
used to talk about that all the time. That's why we're in a circle. And so all we know is mother. We know you did wrong, judgment, shame, the hierarchy. And so what we're doing is we're in a circle and it's not my place to judge you. And
Mhm.
what a wonderful thing for me. I don't want
Mhm.
to have to do that. I
Right.
don't want to have to make anyone feel bad. I'm holding the space, acknowledging your experience, and I'm hearing you and I'm seeing you. And
Mhm.
that's enough to heal.
You are in service to the group as a body sex leader, but you're not a servant. And there's a distinction. When you're in service, you're providing assistance to the group rather than if you're a servant, that means you're performing a task for the people in the group.
And I think this is important for women because we've been conditioned to please. We've
Mm,
been conditioned to give until it hurts, to bleed. And really, to be a good leader, we have to have very firm boundaries
mm,
because people come in and they are in need, right? And so we have to learn how to say no. At the same time, we learn how to say yes. So there's a hard limit. So we have to find where our limit is. And for me, it's like, you have my cell number leading into the circle. Right? I'm present for you in the circle, but I'm handing you the barbell so that you can penetrate yourself and I'll guide you. But I'm not taking over and assuming that role of I'm going to do it to you. And then after a circle, I always have a firm boundary. I'll send out my final email. They
mhm.
get the pictures. I'm present. I'll answer questions. And then it's enough. You got
Yes.
to cut it because we are not sex workers.
Mhm,
Okay. We are not strippers. Sometimes people don't understand how a woman can be in sexuality, right?
mhm.
All we know about people who work in sex is someone who performs.
Right, right. I also think that you have to give women credit, and Betty always gave women credit, and it's more respectful when you realize every woman has their own journey, and you just can't fix it for them. They have to walk through. They have to choose pleasure. They have to learn to do it for themselves. So if you are acting in the servant role and doing everything for them, how will they ever learn for themselves?
No, you're stunting their growth. And it's
Mhm,
what we do. That's why we don't comfort and console when they cry. Betty say they can take it. They're women. We're the
mhm.
strongest sex. That's just it. Like we're strong. We take it all. We give birth. We deal with discrimination, oppression. We're living in a rape culture. She always would say the women can take it.
Right, yes.
And she expected a lot of them. And I think that was the key. That energy of I expect a lot of you.
Exactly, and we all want the women in our circles to have a positive experience. Some will not have a positive experience, and we need to be able to set that boundary and let them have maybe not the experience that you want for them. They're getting the experience that they need to grow.
You're planting seeds, and
Mhm.
sometimes we don't see that seed doesn't pop through the ground for a year.
Mhm.
Just know that if you get them nude in their body with a group of women and they put their hand down on the vulva and they look at their vulvas and they see the diversity, that is more sex education than any of those women have ever gotten. It's more support and it's more love
Mhm.
than they've ever received. So have that limit, guide, hold the space, but know who you are.
Mhm.
Value yourself. Take care of yourself. Have that firm boundary. And if you're uncomfortable doing something, like state your pleasure.
Mhm.
Betty, if she was in a room and she didn't like the lighting, she changed it. If she was doing something, said my back hurt, she got in a position so it didn't. And that is pleasure. Pleasure is
Right.
doing what feels best in every moment.
Mhm.